drops. That's what I told myself. The drops. That's what I told myself. The scratching was faint, slow, irregular, almost careful, like something testing the surface. It came from inside the wall behind my bed. Not the window, not the hallway, the wall. I pressed my ear against it the second night. Silence. Complete silence. I stayed there for almost a full minute, feeling stupid, imagining things, letting my mind turn normal sounds into something else. Then it happened again, right against my ear. 3 slow drags. Not random, not claws flailing, controlled, deliberate. I moved the bed the next morning. I checked for cracks, holes, signs of rodents, anything that could explain it. There was nothing, just smooth paint. That night it returned. 3:17 a.m. Exactly the same slow scratching. Closer this time, not louder. Closer. As if whatever was making that sound had learned the layout of my room. I stopped sleeping after that. I would lie there in the dark, eyes open, waiting for it. Some nights it didn't happen, and those nights were worse. Because the silence felt like anticipation, like it was deciding. I started hearing it in other places. Behind the closet, under the floor, inside the ceiling, always faint, always controlled, never frantic. One night I did something I shouldn't have done. I knocked back. Just once. Soft. Almost playful. The scratching stopped immediately. Not faded. Stopped. The silence that followed was heavier than anything I've ever felt. It lasted maybe 5 seconds. Then, 3 knocks. From inside the wall. Perfectly spaced. Perfectly measured. Not mimicking me, answering me. I didn't move, I didn't breathe. And then, slowly, the scratching resumed. But this time, it wasn't dragging across the wall. It was dragging downward toward the floor, toward where my bed used to be, toward where I was standing. The next morning I found something, not a hole, not a crack, a thin line in the paint, a mark that hadn't been there before, long, vertical, starting near the ceiling, ending just a few inches above the floor, like something had tested the thickness. From the inside. I haven't knocked again, but every night at 3:17, it scratches. And it's no longer careful, it's impatient, like it knows I'm listening, like it knows I answered, and sometimes, just before it starts, I hear something else, breathing on the other side, waiting, not moving, not scratching, just there. The weight beneath the mattress didn't shift again, but it didn't disappear either. I stayed completely still, staring into the dark above me, afraid even my breathing might trigger something. Minutes passed. Or maybe seconds. Time doesn't move normally when you're afraid. Then, very slowly, the pressure eased. The mattress rose back into place, carefully, like whatever was underneath didn't want to be noticed leaving. I didn't move for a long time after that. Eventually, exhaustion won. Before sunrise, I must have fallen asleep. When I woke up, the room looked normal, too normal. Morning light softened everything. I checked under the bed. Nothing, no marks on the wood, no scratches, no dents in the frame. I almost laughed at myself. Almost. Then I noticed something small. The thin, vertical line on the wall. The one that started near the ceiling and ended just above the floor. It was longer. It now reached the baseboard. And there was a second one beside it. Parallel. Even. Measured. I stepped back. That's when I saw it. They weren't random lines anymore. They formed a narrow space between them. The width of a shoulder, the height of a person, a doorway, not cut through the wall, outlined from the inside. I couldn't breathe. I hadn't heard scratching at the wall in days. Only beneath the bed, closer, adjusting. That night, I didn't wait for 3:17. I kept the lights on. I stayed awake. At 3:04, there was no scratching, no knock, no sound, just a shift in the air, a subtle pressure change, like when someone enters a room quietly and stands still, watching. I felt it before I understood it. The space behind me felt occupied. Slowly. Very slowly. I turned toward the wall. The outlined shape was gone. The paint was smooth again, blank, as if it had never been there. But something else had changed. The bedroom door was closed. I always leave it open, and between the door and the frame, there were two thin vertical marks, parallel, even, measured.